Okay, so as far as the production aspect goes, I just downloaded all the files into Carl Lee here into his folder. I have it set up on my hard drive where everything's done in dates. So for today's date, which is February 10th, and I have Carl Lee and I downloaded all his images into here. Now what we use is I use a software called Film Factory, and it's very simple. I simply just go into new role using an existing image folder, and then I go find the folder where my grad student has the grad photos. So I just flip through Windows Explorer, find the date, find the folder, and I go add. And it automatically throws all the images in there. Then I simply just want to go into the index prints, select all, and I just follow the steps. Next step, next step, pick the layout, there it is, and then I just hit print. And what that'll do is just print out a contact sheet with all the image numbers underneath, and that's what we give to the students. They're just raw, unretouched images. They're just using it to pick the pose. So when they actually fill out the order form, each image has its own image number that they write down. Alright, now for the actual grad workflow, the grad workflow is very simple. I'd first just get the image. So this one is Isabel, and she is on February 10th, so I go into grads, February 10th, Isabelle Boucher, and she wanted 6258. So I just let that load up. Right, do a simple rotate 90 degrees, and then I just do a quick defog. Now the first thing I do with this is I don't take a lot of time for retouching on grads. I will actually just use my clone stamp in normal mode at about 80%. And the first thing I'll do is I'll just start cloning out all the stray hairs and the flyaway hairs. As you can see the image now, that hair light does a fairly good job of spreading light around. As you can see it, we have it on the hair, we got a little bit on the back and on the shoulders and that. So that little Morris slave does a great job of throwing some hair light down. So I'm just going to do this a little bit too far. I might want to zoom in just a bit. Now Isabel has quite a few flyaway hairs. We notice that people with long hair have a tendency to have a lot more. One thing we do suggest too that we didn't mention in this video is have a mirror on hand so that the women can check their makeup and check their hair and all that. Because if you don't, they will ask for it. And just get that little one there. And I'm actually just gonna do a little bit more in here and just clean that up just a bit. But I'm not going to pick on it. Now the second thing I do is I'm going to burn, and I just use right into the highlight mode, and I'm just going to give it a heavy burn around. With grad portraits we like to do a pretty harsh vignette. We want all the attention onto the sash and the grad. So first in the highlights and then into the mid-tone. Now I'm going to go in with my clone stamp under lighten, and I'm just going to do about 23%, 25, and just going to go underneath the eyes a bit, and then under darken, just some of the highlight spots. Don't remove them totally. And I'm going to go back in normal. I'm just going to get this one stray away hair here. Perfect. Now I'm going to apply a Haji Soft. Now I don't do a lot of color balance and color enhancement to this because we do a custom white balance beforehand, and we've just noticed with the custom white balance our colors are pretty well bang on. Okay, so now I'm just gonna now for women I do a Haji Soft, for men I do not. And I usually just bring this all the way back to the end with grads, and I do a very light softening to this. So I'm going to come back at 30% with the big brush and just give it a good swaft over the whole thing, just like that. Now what I might do now is just do a quick S curve for contrast. just like that. And what I do now is I'll save that and I'll ship that off to the lab, and the lab will print in units of 8x10, 5x7s, 4x5s, and walls. I let them do the cropping and the sharpening and everything. All I do is just a little bit of retouching and the enhancements that I do. Our lab, which is custom color, will do all the cropping and sharpening for us and put everything in units, and it's just easier that way. So all I do is just FTP this image up there with how many units of each I want, and that's it. And you know, normally these just take me a few minutes each, so I'll show you the before and after. So here we have the well, here's the after, and then there's the before. So it's just some heavy vignetting and some retouching, and that's it. Very straightforward.